nothing to get a deported Maryland man out of prison in return from El Salvador, telling Justice Department attorneys to clear their schedule for a 2-week inquiry in the case.
U.S. District Judge Paula Zinis ordered a process of discovery to get to the government's reasons for Kilmar Abrego Garcia's deportation. Attorney Reena Gandhi says it starts with questions they'll submit today.
And then the government has a week to respond. Essentially, within 2 weeks, we should, in theory, be done with discovery.
Gandhi points to a U.S. Supreme Court order to facilitate a release from custody. And while the government has argued what facilitate means,
you can't ignore the next part of that sentence. And that's what the government has continued to try to do.
The government also claims it can't tell El Salvador where Abrego Garcia is to give him back. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Former President Biden, during a speech in Chicago, accuses President Trump of planning to wreck Social Security with staff and benefit cuts to rob it for billionaires and big corporations' tax cuts.
Social Security is more than a government program. It's a sacred promise.
The speech of the annual Advocates, Counselors, and Representatives for the Disabled Conference, a post on the Trump administration's official Social Security account on X says the former president's lying. A medic is reported killed, 9 people wounded in an Israeli airstrike hitting a field hospital gate in Gaza.
A spokesperson for Hamas says contact with the group holding Israeli-American citizen Eden Alexander was lost after an Israeli airstrike. This comes as Hamas rejected an Egyptian ceasefire proposal to bring the war to an end. Reportedly, the proposal would have required Hamas to put down their weapons.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz. Great Britain Supreme Court rules transgender women are not legally women under the country's 2010 Equality Act. America's listening to Fox News.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. holds a news conference at 11 Eastern about a new report on autism rates.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says an estimated 1 in 31 children has autism. The data from 14 states and Puerto Rico from 2022. The previous estimate from 2020 was 1 in 36. Boys continue to be diagnosed more than girls, with the highest rates among Asian and Pacific Islander, Native American, Alaska Native, and Black children. Health officials say the growing autism numbers are largely due to better recognition of cases through screening and better diagnosis. There's no biologic test for it. It's diagnosed by making judgments about a child's behavior. About 20 years ago, studies by the CDC and others ruled out vaccines as a cause for autism. Lisa Lacera, Fox News.
2 service members, reportedly Marines, are killed in a rollover vehicle accident in New Mexico. A third's badly hurt. They're the first known fatalities associated with the military mission to help secure the southern border. No jurors are chosen yet for Harvey Weinstein's rape retrial.
Harvey Weinstein arrived for his retrial in a suit and wheelchair, watching as his defense and prosecutors waited through the first set of prospective jurors. The former movie mogul will sit again today as Judge Curtis Farber presides over the process. In September, Weinstein was indicted on an additional sex crime charge after being accused of assaulting a woman in a Manhattan hotel on one occasion in 2006. He's also facing 2 charges from his original trial. The original 2020 conviction was overturned by New York's highest court, citing improper rulings and prejudicial testimony. Opening statements are expected next week.
Fox's Michelle Polino. Weinstein's also appealing a 2022 rape conviction in Los Angeles, for which he remains in custody. Disney's Snow White remake is banned in Lebanon. Israeli actress Gal Gadot's movies are not allowed to be shown there. I'm Chris Foster. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. A Champaign woman dead after the coroner said she was involved in a crash at northbound I-57 Monday night at milepost 243 near Thomasboro. Illinois State Police say a passenger car rear-ending a semi. The driver of that car pronounced dead at the scene. Illinois State University faculty signing off on their first collective bargaining agreement with the university. United Faculty of Illinois State University voting to approve the deal. The contract makes improvements in working conditions and compensation and goes into effect immediately. The approval follows 13 months of negotiations. Champaign School District supposed to meet Monday night for their regular scheduled meeting, but that meeting canceled after 3 members called it absent. The 3, including Mark Holm, Betsy Holder, and Amy Armstrong. Meeting's agenda could have seen the board confirm 2 principals at Edison Middle School and Booker T. Washington Academy, as well as SROs at Central and Centennial High Schools. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, thank you very much, and welcome to Wednesday morning, April 16. Meteorologist Greg Solier has been studying all night for you, just so you know what to expect on the weather. So, good
well,
work.
maybe not all night.
Okay, the last 10
early
minutes.
enough this morning. The sun had not risen yet, so we'll put it that way. So.
What time does the alarm go off for you, friend?
Depends on the day of the week, and typically, 3:34 on a normal day. When I got TV stuff to do, it's closer to 2:30 or 3. Just got to get things recorded and set up and graphics and all that stuff. And even on the weekends, I can't get past,
I know.
5 in the morning.
You're pretty much a superstar when it comes to the ag community,
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Diane.
Well, you got, so Saturday mornings of eyes open at 5A, you just can't break that right now.
But, this time of the year, as you get into late spring and summer, the sun is up, jump on the bike, no one's out there, go for a ride.
There you go. Attaboy.
Love it.
Sneak in a nap, and that's it. So.
Yeah, there you go. It's our meteorologist, Greg Solier, brought to you this morning by the Urbana Park District.
And they remind you they've got some great programs for the spring. They've got teen activities. They're partnering with Chris Healthy Aging in case you're 50 and up and want to learn about being fit and healthy. Learn more at urbanaparks.org.
All right, what do you say for Wednesday and beyond, sir?
Well, the sun is up, kind of a chilly morning, and kind of tough to get out of bed if it's the house and homestead are on a chillier note here. Kind of probably stoke up the furnace again this morning with a reading of 36. Make that 38 now. The sun is doing its thing over at Willard and Savoy. 36 at Rantoul, 34 at Danville, same but blooming to normal. Widespread frost in many to most locales running on that I-74 corridor, either side of it, all the way down past the Brickyard into Ohio and eastern Kentucky. But milder, wind-blown weather upstream, and we'll get into that over the next couple of days, and then into an active and moisture-laden one, ebbing and flowing in periods of showers, some thunderstorms. But, again, more typical temperatures for the time of year, so that's the saving grace. But we got to keep an eye on these streams and rivers again going forward over the next 10 to 15 days, and hopefully you can get a little field work done. Soils are chilly, or only in the 40s averaging out, and rain, again, is going to be more on than off in the coming next couple of weeks for openers. That today, though, sunshine, afternoon temperatures expected to top out across the area. At about 62, light wind down tonight, not as cool, 45, increasing clouds tomorrow. A couple of drops of rain in spots here late morning, more so a couple of showers break out in the afternoon. Highs tomorrow at 65. Partly sunny, windy, warmer, up near 80, but some showers and thunderstorms around. Good Friday morning, more likely in the afternoon, maybe a weather watch as well. A much cooler Saturday, a couple of showers are back in the afternoon at 63. Easter Sunday, sunrise services, 50-ish, maybe a little rain around. And then some shower and thunderstorms are back in later in the day on Easter Sunday. A couple of showers Monday at 62. Dry Tuesday, would you believe, 67, and more rain the second half of next week. For CVJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
All right, thank you, Greg. Appreciate it very much. Here we go. It is April 16. Josh McCray is leaving the Illinois football team.
I was just looking that up. He's 23.
Yeah, he's a veteran. I don't know. Remember Brett Bielema talking about Josh and kind of crying? He was very emotional.
I mean, he was the MVP for the Citrus Bowl.
Yeah, and the room has been crowded. A lot of running backs, and who's stayed healthy?
Right.
Who has stayed healthy as a running back?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what Josh thought or felt or anything. I don't. It was just surprising because you're coming off Citrus Bowl. Unless, Josh, how's 1.2 feel?
Wow.
I mean,
that could be the case.
It's just one of those deals where
I don't know what rushing else. For 609 yards with 10 touchdowns.
I mean, again, there's a lot of running backs we have at Illinois football, But it just surprised me because there was an obvious connection between Brad and Josh.
Brett Billman.
I mean,
yeah.
Brad Underwood.
And his first high school recruit, really, the big land. And
anyway, yeah, it was
just quite a relationship, we thought.
No, I thought so. But then again, if you have quite a relationship with your best friend and somebody calls and says, hey, I need you to work for me.
Right, and show me the money.
Well, again, I what else could it be?
Right.
And I've not heard of anything like, oh, boy, Josh isn't happy. And Brett hasn't talked about anything Josh McCray that I've heard. Anyway, Josh McCray's leaving, and has to be money. I mean, it has to be. I don't get what, because he's 23. He's been here 17 years. I don't get it.
But we've got money, all right?
I don't know. Don't know. And now what's kind of happened recently in NIL is the Tennessee quarterback was a holdout at spring practice. He was a holdout. And Tennessee finally said...
Is that what we're coming to?
No, not for Tennessee. They said, see ya.
Okay.
The guy wanted $4.3 million.
Oh, my goodness.
And what he did is he went through whole spring ball toward the end when they're really clicking, and then he said, no, I need more money now.
Oh, no.
You hurt his team.
I mean, that's like the professional athletes playing that card,
I'm under the... very strong opinion that if you sign a deal, you sign a deal. Oh, what a shame that you could have made so much more, but you were happy when you signed it. You can't do that. You made an agreement, you do it. So, I mean, the Tennessee guy, who knows? Now, if he lands somewhere and makes more money, then more guys will do that. If he doesn't land anywhere, more guys won't do that.
Right.
So he's kind of the barometer here. But I mean, you just can't hold. First of all, what are you thinking? Your teammate needs you, and you went all the way deep into spring and decided that this was the time.
That's right.
Because they need me a lot. So anyway, it's yeah. Anyway, so we'll see. Josh McCray off the football team, going to transfer somewhere.
At least that's what everybody's saying.
Well, he's in the portal, but
right.
There's no way you go to the portal without having an idea where you're going. At this point, I don't think. I have no idea. I just know that's the news in football.
Nico Amaliva or something is the Tennessee player. That's the holdout.
Yeah.
They're calling it could be a trend. So
well, good luck, because at some point you
not.
just say, "God, listen, you're getting 7 figures. Calm down." But no, it's growing to absolutely out of control.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so it is Coaches versus Cancer tonight.
Yes, it is.
And
Chris Collins, a special guest from Northwestern.
Yep.
Dana Altman and
Robbie Hummel. Robbie Hummel
was a Purdue player and then
played at Purdue 9 years. Robbie Hummel played for 100 years at Purdue. He was so good, and it was just like, wait a minute, how does he have eligibility? He must have had 6 redshirt or medical year. I don't know. Anyway, he'll be there, and he's terrific on TV.
And typically they can fit you in. So the American Cancer Society, this is a big night, kicking cancer.
Yep.
If you want to try to go just an online search away to figure that out, last year over $500,000 raised and over 1,700 people in Gordyville.
Yeah, a lot of fun to be there tonight.
That's right.
All right, let's check your sports headlines.
Well, I guess we have to start with the St. Louis Cardinals. Houston shut them out 2-0. We've got an update.
The Redbird Recap is sponsored by Helitech Waterproofing and Foundation Repair. Heal your home with Helitech.
With Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney, and last night at Busch Stadium, the pitching was pretty good, but not good enough to overcome a 2-0 lead by Houston, and Josh Hader saved the game for Hunter Brown. The Astros evened the series with the 2-0 shutout.
Not a lot of hits in the game. First time in 2025 that the Cardinals were shut out, and they also had a season low in hits with 6. They did have a couple of chances early. They just couldn't cash in.
Leaving runners at second and third in the early innings in the game. In fact, the Astros left the bases loaded twice. They could have had a lot more.
And they got the home run late from Yordan Alvarez, and that made it 2-0, and it just seemed like a huge lead at that point.
Right back at it today. The first pitch will be coming your way around 12:15 from Steven Matz making his first start.
Cardinals go to a 6-man rotation. Steven Matz has earned that spot in the rotation.
We're on the air beginning at 11:20 this morning. 12:05, Ricky has the lineups. First pitch at 12:15 as the Cardinals go for a series win over Houston.
Is your home showing symptoms of foundation issues? Your home's wet basement, dingy crawl space, musty smells, cracked walls, or unlevel concrete shouldn't be ignored. Helitech can help. Life happens in your home. You and your family deserve the best. Helitech offers proven solutions in waterproofing, drainage, concrete leveling, and foundation repair services. Contact us for a free inspection at helitechonline.com.
When the water's high, we'll keep your basement dry. Heal your home with Helitech.
So once again, 12:15 here on ESPN 93.5, and the Cubs and Padres. I didn't write it down, but I believe it's a 3:10 start over on US
Getaway day.
105.9.
Yeah, they'll go earlier this afternoon. Cubbies won that game.
Yeah,
again.
2-1 in 10.
That's the first loss for the Padres at home this year.
Wow.
They were 11-0.
Wow.
Padres are very good, and apparently so are the Cubs. So there you go.
I feel like the Cub fans, there's a little more skip in our step. Usually in April, we're all doom and gloom.
It's a good start.
Better luck next year.
It's usually, how you doing in June.
I know.
But that's a wide open conference. So.
A's over the Chicago White Sox 12-3. They've got a 6:40 start today. Playing games for the NBA had Orlando over Atlanta, so they'll clinch a 7 seed. Golden State over Memphis 121-116. Miami and the Bulls tonight at 6:30. Let's hope the Chicago Bulls can move on. And Dallas and Sacramento at 9 o'clock tonight. So we heard about Josh McCray. That's trending in Illini Nation of what's going on. Softball team at Eichelberger Field at 4 o'clock against Valparaiso. We had 5 homers, including a grand slam yesterday in the first inning as Illinois baseball beats SIUE by a big score
6-1.
yesterday.
I saw 6-1 at the time at the grand slam. But the guy crushed it.
I want to say it was 17-6.
It was early on, but the grand slam was just nutted, man. He hit that thing, squared it up. It was a pretty good one.
Here's another trend about Braden Smith returning to Purdue.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Hey, Purdue's going to have everybody back.
Right.
And they're a good basketball team, well coached, so that's going to be, one of the favorites in the Big Ten again next year. So we'll see what Maryland's got. I think everybody left that program, including the coach. So there's that. And, of course, our team, we're piecing it together, and we'll see what we have. It's
we talked to Coach Brad Underwood yesterday, and, really talking about Kasparis and Will Riley and them stepping into the NBA draft.
Can't blame them. Just too much change there. You cannot turn down. I don't know. Just generational wealth, if handled properly, you're done. You don't ever have to earn money again. You're 18 years old, 19, whatever.
That's crazy.
It's amazing what has happened to our amateur sports.
That's right.
Yeah,
they're players
just
now.
A bloody amateur.
College player.
Yeah, it was big money. Now it's ginormous money. Right. Our weather with Greg, brought to you by Carl.
Stay in control of your medical care and have an advanced care plan for yourself. You can learn more at carl.org.
And we have a Stever standing by for you to help you get dejunked in your home.
Yes.
And we will tell you about this junk, this 2-minute and a junk truck
sale on Saturday that yielded $1,400 for Courage Connection.
Yeah, all about that next.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign, and vicinity. And a frosty start to the day, but with high pressure and control, lighter winds, abundant sunshine. Going to turn out to be a pretty respectable day's worth of early springtime weather. Increasingly wet and active and moisture-laden as we move forward towards the Easter holiday weekend and into a good part of next week, too. Sunshine, 62, a milder afternoon with light wind. We'll bottom out tonight at 45 under a partly cloudy sky. Tomorrow, increasing clouds, breezy and milder, a couple of showers in spots late morning, more so. For the afternoon, up to 65. That southeast to south wind on the increase. Windy mild tomorrow night with a low down to about 55 for the day on Friday. Windy warmer. A couple of shower thunderstorm outbreaks into the morning and more so for the afternoon. Could be some stronger storms, a high close to 80 with a partly sunny sky. Much cooler for the day Saturday with a high at 63 and a couple of showers around for the afternoon. A couple of showers and thunderstorms Easter Sunday too with a high temperature up near 65. Showers Monday 62. Still in the 60s next Tuesday and Wednesday. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Take charge of the years ahead with a smart, sound investment strategy and business succession plan. Busey Bank's business and wealth management experts help you envision your best future with powerful insights and proven strategies. Building business and growing wealth since 1868. Busey Bank, proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Travelers says it's pleased to report a substantial profit for the start of the year despite the devastating January California wildfires. Travelers is raising its dividend, repurchased 1.4 million shares of stock. Travelers' shares are flat. U.S. Bancorp is reporting an upbeat quarter. Trucking company J.B. Hunt says its earnings and revenue declined in the recent quarter from a year ago. Shares are down 6%. Heineken is standing by its forecast for the year, but is warning of a volatile backdrop involving consumers, tariff uncertainty, and the geopolitical backdrop. Heineken is a Dutch company. It says it's been able to raise prices and saw higher sales volumes. Heineken says it produces more than 95% of its products locally. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda. Invested in you.
Every hour of every day, Fox News Radio is there with the latest breaking news and information you rely on.
This is a Fox News Alert.
I'm Lisa Brady.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. With Fox News correspondents around the globe.
At the White House, Simon Owen in London.
On Capitol Hill, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
The news that matters most to you. The top headlines, all in one place. Listen and follow the Fox News Hourly Update at foxnewspodcasts.com or ask your smart speaker to play Fox News.
Stevie J here. With Nate Evans of eXp Realty, you'll always get a stress-free sale for the most money.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to theNateEvansGroup.com.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Actually, I called the provider. It was just going to be a while before I could have service, and I couldn't wait, so I was recommended to Classic. Professionalism, their dependability, credibility, and the service technicians. I wouldn't ever call anybody else.
I truly believe that after people have experienced other companies and then given us a try, they can clearly see the difference.
Visit ClassicPlum.com.
Hi, this is Les Hovland with Philo Exchange Bank. At our banks, we know the hearts of our communities beat with the rhythm of agriculture. Ag lending continues to be something we've excelled at for over 140 years. To you, the farmer, your business has been built on trusted relationships. When it comes to your banking relationship, we want to be your trusted partner.
Philo Exchange Bank, hometown community banking since 1883. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
So we do have a Stever, the program where I, Stevie J, happily give you my money so that you might spend it at a very nice business. Today is from 2 Men in a Junk Trunk.
I love it.
And this is where they'll come and I'll give you $200 to have some of that stuff removed. That's usually like a big couch, a recliner.
Wouldn't it be nice to be clutter-free? This is a reliable solution with the professionals taking care of this. We've had some people saying I have exercise equipment in the basement, and if you have something like a treadmill, that's heavy, that's hard to navigate. So that's the kind of thing we're looking at. If you've got a concern, even if you've got some lawn debris from some of the big storms and stuff, they'll take care of that too, Stevie.
Big old half trees or something.
Whatever.
Okay.
Summer cleanup, or, a spring garage removal of a bunch of, old furniture, whatever, old appliances, TVs. They'll do it all.
They do take the television?
They do. It says right here on the list. And commercial junk removal, too. Maybe moving into a new office, or there's just all kinds of rubbish. You can get it all moved out, and it's a quick search online in case you want to explore your options. But yeah, we'd love to take care of you today.
All right, I'll give you $200 to have them come over and haul about that thingy thing you've been talking about for 12 years but never got rid of it. So why don't you make a move? Just text in junk to 217-359-2255 on the Fisher National Bank text line. You can do that right now, and you'll be eligible and maybe get one of these deals where you can say, oh boy, that thing is still in the garage and let's get rid of it.
Right. You know, the big china cabinet or the big, chairs and things like that were on display during the garage sale over the weekend. And actually, we tapped into a chair that is in our living room. My son Aiden just loves it. Very comfortable.
Paid a lot of money for it, though.
I mean, you just made an offer, and all that money went to Courage Connection.
Good deal.
And they had $1,400 donation to make to that great group that's helping out people who might have domestic violence issues find some great resources in our community. So thank you for that.
All right, 2 Men in a Junk Truck had the garage sale. Congratulations on a successful garage sale. And again, 217-359-2255. You want $200 worth of removal stuff. They'll come out and say, okay, that'll cost $80, that's $20, and if you want to spend $200 exactly, figure all that out. But most people are spending a little more because they get into it, and then they're jacked when they leave.
Yeah.
Saying this stuff's gone.
Right.
And 2 Men does all the responsible recycling and everything else, and try and get uses for everything, which
I
is
want
great.
to say last month we had somebody with stuff in their yard. You know those great big urns and things like that? I think you and Janet had some of those heavy-duty trees or
Urns?
Christmas tree things that were concrete.
They weren't urns.
What?
Urns are where you put ashes.
Oh. What's that big pot?
It's just a Christmas tree outdoor pot.
That's right.
With a tree in
But it was super heavy.
40 pounds or something.
Oh, I thought it was more than that. You with your exercising,
Yeah,
that was no problem for you.
All right, so if you want this, just text us now, Junk. Brother Johnny's jumped in.
That's right.
So we've got a senator from Maryland because his constituent is in a concentration camp in El Salvador, and forget that he's a member of the MS-13 gang.
He was not an American citizen.
Well, he was not. And so he's a constituent. So this Senator Van Holten, I don't know what his name is, he's getting on a commercial flight in Dulles this morning trying to go down to get him.
Well, maybe he'll get him. I mean, if they, I don't know that he's going to stay. I think they'll go back because it was a clerical error. Because there's no question the president can deport just about anybody, but they didn't do something right. The senator should understand that if he allows 20 million people in and someone tries to get the bad ones out, this is going to happen. Yeah. And it's a shame if he's a great guy, but he came in illegally and apparently had enough association with a gang, the MS-13, that 2 judges said he's part of this gang.
Yeah, police also confirmed he's part of it. He's MS-13. And so he was sent there, but it was now kidnapping and a dictatorship by Donald J. Trump.
Well, what else are they going to say?
I know, but do we believe that stuff of Russia,
we've had
January 6th, all that other stuff that COVID, everything they say?
They're not going to stop. That's their strategy, and we'll see if they can win with it.
Okay.
They didn't last time, and I think they're going to lose again, but we got to put up with it. And any little error, by the way, I don't think Joe's administration, his tenure in office, was perfect. But they always defended him no matter what happened, no matter how many people were hurt. And now no matter what Donald Trump does well, nothing but he's out to get us. And
cutting Social Security.
It is getting pretty tiring.
It's just a bunch of lies. He's not cutting Social Security. He's not cutting Medicaid.
Well, there's people saying there's no fraud at all, and they just found 6,000 non-Americans, citizens who did not come in properly, getting Social Security check. Yeah. That's our money. They're not entitled to Social Security if they're not a citizen of the United States.
Not a fraud. I've got a clip from CNN of all places talking about whether the president has defied the Supreme Court. Stand by for that. Also, Greg Gutfeld talking about what's happening with this person down in El Salvador now. But if he's illegal, he's illegal.
Yeah, it's Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen that traveled to El Salvador for Gilmore Abrego Garcia.
Well, he had to go first because others are talking about it, so he's flying today.
Right.
Well, that's good because the Supreme Court, I think, said the U.S. needs to facilitate, help make it easier.
Right.
They didn't say you had to go invade the country to get him back.
Well, he's trying to get Johnny, he's going to go down there as a senator.
The senator is helping Donald Trump facilitate his release. He's doing the work for us. Let's hope he gets him out of there.
Well,
then if he does, he's going to get it for getting Trump off the hook.
Well, I think the issue is should he come back, and I just don't.
This guy? Well. If the Supreme Court says try to get him back,
then he's trying to get him back. All right.
And then you're going to go through the right process to deport him again.
Exactly.
And they may not send him back down there. they'll send him to Timbuktu. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, a break for the news. We'll come back, play these clips. You're welcome to text us again. Any comments, thoughts, 217-359-2255. But boy, are they jumping. But the senator has nothing set up. He could very well stand outside the prison with an iPhone, never see the president, and come home.
Well, we saw what happened when they caught an email about something and everything went well, and they went absolutely ballistic.
We'll be right back with more. Stand by.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa, Maryland. Democratic Senator Chris Van Hollen at Dulles International Airport in Virginia this morning. He's going to visit Kilmore Abrego Garcia, the man mistakenly sent to El Salvador.
He announced he'd be flying to El Salvador to do a welfare check on the illegal alien who'd been living in Maryland until he was deported in what 3 government officials conceded was an administrative error, while the administration also maintains allegations this man has ties to MS-13.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich of the White House. President Trump posting on Truth Social he'll be at the table for talks today over tariffs and a trade deal with Japan. California looking to prevent President Trump from implementing tariffs. Governor Gavin Newsom and State Attorney General Rob Bonta will file in federal court Wednesday morning. The lawsuit will challenge the president's ability to impose import taxes known as tariffs without congressional approval. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Well, the Illinois Department of Public Health unveiling its updated Illinois school vaccination coverage dashboard. The platform provides valuable insight into statewide, county, and school district vaccination trends. It serves as a resource to help public school officials, educators, policymakers, and Illinois residents make informed decisions about immunization policies. Champaign woman dead after the coroner says she was involved in a crash on northbound I-57 Monday night at milepost 243 near Thomasboro. Illinois State Police say a passenger car rear-ended a semi, and the driver of that vehicle pronounced dead on scene. Former state government employee admitted to fraudulently receiving a Paycheck Protection Program loan and an economic injury disaster loan total over $28,000 during the COVID pandemic. Illinois Attorney General prosecuted Candace Brumfield of Woodridge. She pled guilty to 1 count of theft. She fraudulently applied for and received the loans. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
And our weather this morning with Greg, brought to you by Kramer's Siding and Window.
Get beautiful, safe, and efficient new doors with lots of colors and styles to suit you. Learn more at KramerSiding.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign, and vicinity. Enjoy the dry day's worth of weather today with light winds and sunshine. Frost scraping off the windshield first thing this morning, a high about 62. Later in the day with a light north wind, partly cloudy, 45 for tonight. Increasing clouds, breezy, milder for the day tomorrow. 65 with a couple of showers in spots late morning, more so for the afternoon. We'll bottom out tomorrow night, milder with an evening shower risk at 55. And a windy and warmer Friday with a couple of showers and thunderstorms in the late morning, more so for the afternoon. Could be some stronger storms. Good Friday high at close to 80 degrees and a south wind 20 to 30 and gusty. Much cooler Saturday, a couple of showers around in the afternoon, again up to 63. There may be a bit of rain here. Easter sunrise on Easter Sunday with temps in the near 50 degree range there. Later in the day up to 65 and a couple of showers and thunderstorms that continue into Monday. Highs at 62 and still into the 60s next Tuesday and Wednesday. Dry Tuesday, more rain the second half of next week. For CVJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window. New roofing and siding are a winning combination that can instantly change the look, feel, and function of your home. Our Kramer Siding and Window team takes pride in being an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred contractor, able to offer a best-in-the-business 50-year warranty. Pair it with preservation siding in your favorite style and color, and your home will be a showstopper. Start today and save 10% on roofing and 25% on siding. Call us, click on KramerSiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
A little traffic thing on 74.
Yeah, thanks, Dion, for reaching out at 359-2255. Traffic is backed up on westbound 74 due to construction between Cunningham and Lincoln. 74 is down to 1 lane. Traffic on 74 is backed up to a complete stop. Traffic merging onto 74 from Cunningham is also backed up and at a standstill due to the same issue. So avoid that area if you can.
All right, thank you for that. All right. 7:35, 25 before 8. Normally, Ed Martin would join us here. He's now the U.S. acting.
He's got to get confirmed by the Senate.
Yeah, so he's acting or interim or whatever it is, running an office of 1,000, U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C., but he's hanging low till all this can get done. There's no hearings. They would just vote, And apparently some of the Republican senators are struggling.
Well, the problem, so Ed is actually going to investigate some of the things we wonder what really happened. And
they don't want that.
That is something they can't do. So they've erupted, really. They've decided to really take a push, not quite like Pete Hegseth, but they don't want Eddie confirmed. This is Adam Schiff et al., which means we got to get him in.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It means he's doing a great job.
Yeah. No, that means they're worried about something
might
out.
show. Yeah. All right. So will the Republicans have the fortitude in the Senate to vote him in? Or will they just say, sorry, Donald, we're not going to do it for you?
Well, Steve, he's done well so far, but the U.S. attorney is one they might want to say, well, if you vote for this on my next bill, I'll
see.
You don't know. It's politics, and we just have to watch. We're really just glorified spectators.
No timetable on that?
Yeah, there is.
May
10th's it.
May 10th.
So you've got a 2-week recess.
But you can do a head count, right?
Yeah, they're
close. President can call them.
They're close. That's right.
So we're not going to get Murkowski.
No, she's not a Republican. She ran as a Republican, but she's.
Well, why doesn't somebody beat her in Alaska?
I don't know.
What the world? Alaska is not woke.
They're weird though. Up there. I don't think they have enough sunlight. I don't know.
Maybe not. All right, Greg Gutfeld talking about this kidnapped constituent of whatever Van Hollen, whatever the senator from Maryland said. This is a person that is illegally in our country that was supposed to be deported, skipped court cases, was already identified as MS-13, which is a horrific gang. A woman, mother of 5, was murdered and raped in Maryland by an illegal. The mother never got a call. The mother of the woman killed never got a call from any Joe Biden, Mayorkas.
How about
Harris.
the governor who's going all the way to El Salvador?
That's a senator. That's
the senator. Did he?
Yeah,
call
no, nobody's called her. Yeah. So it's just unbelievable. So we're talking about horrific. The MS-13 is unbelievable. How bad they are. How brutal they are. Okay, so here's Greg Gutfeld about the whole situation. Fox Television.
What is the strange thing about this story? The majority of Americans favor deportation of illegals, especially those who are criminals, but they favor deportation of illegal. The last, 8 days, 7 days, has been around about one person. Yep. One person. I don't even know his name. I don't care. If he's here illegal, he's got to go. We are not responsible for the faulty process that allowed him to be here before. Is he a terrorist? Is he not a terrorist? I don't care. Let me give you an analogy. This will be good for you because you like sports. You walk down to your box seats. There's somebody sitting in your seat. And you go, why is this guy sitting in my seat? And they go, well, he's not supposed to be there. But he's a family man. He's got a job. It's like, yeah, but that's not on me. That's my seat. Don't you have a process for having him leave that seat? Yes, we do. Can he go back to his seat? Why doesn't he go back to his seat? It's not my concern where that seat is. He's got to go. Yes, but did you know he's been trying really hard to be a good citizen? He's really quiet. He's not making. No, you don't understand. He's got to go. Now, we knew that this process wouldn't be easy. Yeah. It was really easy for Democrats to open the floodgates and be seen as the heroes. Look how compassionate we are. It's always going to be harder to send them back. And you're going to be treated like a villain every single step of the way, because adults fix the problems that children's cause. And sometimes the adults have to do big stuff to fix the big problems that were caused by Democrats, who are, in this case, are the children. As for this, why are they talking about this disappear fear? It's because the bat signal went up. Last week it was chaos. Now it's disappear fear. You put it on the mountain of imaginary concerns, along with paper straws, the climate apocalypse, Russian collusion, white supremacy, Musk is a Nazi. This is what I mean when you can feel the narrative. You can feel it. You go like, oh, now I understand this. This whole thing, this guy is nothing more than a tool.
Nothing more than a tool.
No, I think Greg Gutfeld has it, just nails it. But he also, if you step back a little bit, he's probably you, probably me and Diane too, are the problem. Yeah. You cannot have the kind of rhetoric and narrative and policy push for things we don't want. When someone like Greg can still talk, you've got to shut him up. They've been trying to censor people, and if he's out there on the side saying, "What are they doing?" and he's 100% correct, they do not care about this guy. All they want is to allow people to come across the border and stop Trump from trying to protect us. All they want is guys in our little girl's bathroom. That's all they want, and Trump's stopping them. They do not want our own energy. They don't want energy independent. Let Putin sell it to Europe, and then he can keep the war going. That's what they want, and we need to understand, whatever you think of Trump, if you don't like him, come up with somebody else. We can't have what they want to do. And the way they go about it, Steve, is just, they have no idea of what would be good for us. Everything good is bad, and everything bad is good. We just have to get them out of there. And hopefully, if they keep it up, people will say, I'm not voting for him. I may not vote this time. That's fine.
Here's a CNN analyst on, did Trump defy the Supreme Court?
Look, they're working within the ambiguity that the Supreme Court justices gave them. They did not order the administration to return him to the United States. They said that they need to facilitate this return. They could have said, we order him returned, but they didn't do that. Yes, it does look a little bit like a semantic game, but they are playing within the bounds of what the Supreme Court ruled. So no, they're not defying this order.
Okay, not defying the order.
Well, okay, first of all, if they had demanded the return, that means we have to go in there with troops and get the guy. Yeah. So we're not going to start a war over this.
I think some people think, and I would think it to be true, if Donald Trump asked him, he could probably.
He may. Well, the senator's going down, and that's starting. He's working on behalf of the administration to facilitate the man's return.
And he may working with the president of El Salvador.
I don't know if he's working with Trump, but he's helping Trump because that's what the Supreme Court wants. And he's a representative of the United States of America, which I hope he remembers that on the way down.
And he talks about bringing him back for due process.
Okay. Well, then you come back and then you deport him.
That's right.
But again, it's this desire to keep our borders open, and then when we try to fix it, how many other gray areas and mistakes are you going to make when you're deporting a million bad actors?
Right.
Probably a few more. And they don't care about the fact we're protecting people in our cities and towns. They just want to let these people in and by the way, tie the law enforcement's hands behind their back too when they're here, so you can't stop them. Then
they have to resist. That's the whole plan.
But the resistance at the expense of the American people, and it's getting to where we need to just get a little bit more, I guess, aggressively pushing back, which I think have.
Yeah, I think so.
It's just, but they're doubling down. We need to triple down.
Okay,
we got to stop them. They're going to take this country.
The immigration difference from a year ago, March to this March, what percentage of those crossing the border, how much has it come down from last March?
Basically, it stopped.
It's 95%.
Yeah. And so Trump was correct. They always say he's lying. Well, Kamala, why don't you go back tonight and close the border?
Yeah. And they need an act of Congress, is what they said.
Yeah, that's another thing that wasn't true because it took Trump less than 3 months.
Yeah, no, it's remarkable how that is now not a problem. And he's inviting people to come. You just do it legally. You fill stuff out and you do the process, and you can come join us in America. It's going to take a while, but there is a process. So,
well, it'll take less time if we don't have to deal with 20 million people who shouldn't even be here and pay for them.
It's going to have ramifications for decades, right? I mean, for a long, long time. It just will. And
again, if Trump's out, they'll be flooding in at 200, 300,000 a month again, just as fast as he shut them down.
Yep. Okay, so Joe Biden spoke for the first time following his presidency. Somebody hired him as a keynote, and they did the speech at 5. It's like a Bob Evans special.
Early bird.
I hope they didn't pay too much.
I mean, think about it. He's not getting money anymore from the deal, It's all that's shut down. So
you got a point.
We might have to raise some money on the mashed potato circuit, but who's buying that? I mean, normally a former president's at least $1 million. I mean, are you kidding? And I didn't even get a clip. It's what he was. It's what he is. It's like, who do they think they are?
Well, you've got to realize now the Democrats spent over $1 billion on Kamala's campaign. They still have supporters. Trump spent less than $400 million. And that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's somebody out there that would pay whatever you want because it isn't, oh, Joe's not worth it. It is, no, let's get Joe back out there. We're going to keep going with this. We made a mistake.
Yeah.
The people realized they were wrong. We have to have protect the LGBT community. That's what the hill we're going to die on. We have to keep the war going in Ukraine. Let's get them. And I tell you, you can see I got a little edge because I'm tired of their philosophy, their strategy, their whining. What are you going to do for the country?
Yeah.
All you're doing is stopping what Trump's trying to do.
Because he's a dictator. And they're staying the line. They're doubling down, tripling down, all of it. It's Brother Johnny. There's Diane Ducey. I'm Stevie J. And James Carville, your buddy.
There you go.
In New Orleans, married to conservative Mary Madeline.
Mm-hmm.
James Carville says, wait for it. Of course, this whole kidnapping thing, he's kind of on the page there because obviously an opportunity to get a little press and say a bunch of things that aren't true. But James Carville has said it's time for the progressives to go their own way.
There you go.
How about that?
Well, he's right. He does have some political instincts.
Yeah, he does.
And it's not. What did he say into I think it was Joe's campaign late? It's not working. Trump's poll numbers were supposed to go down. They're going up.
Yeah, right. He did say that. But if he tells the progressives, who's he telling? I mean, who's the speaker for the progressive movement?
Well, as Kennedy said, AOC,
yeah.
Taliban,
yeah.
Malik Taliban.
I don't think that they're controlling anything.
Well, they're progressives.
But they don't really control it.
I think Hakeem, what's his name?
Hakeem Jeffries?
Hakeem Jeffries is the spokesman for the progressives.
Or is he a spokesman for the progressives because he's the leader, not necessarily. I think if you get to the election time, oh, no, that's too extreme. I mean, they all shift. So who can really control that? Bernie? He's a socialist.
Well,
is he a progressive?
Bernie's he's just right on the same page. He's pretty consistent, I will tell him.
Well, would they dare split from the Democrats? Because there's many Democrats that have to be silent or else they can't really speak out or they'll get the same wrath on them.
Well, they need to flip that, and the progressives need one to go along with the more moderates. But
what does it take to start a third party, and can a third party really even have a chance?
But these days, maybe. I don't know. But I think that the moderates are going to have to figure out how to get the progressive agenda softened. And right now, all they've come up with is people like Gretchen Whitmer and Gavin Newsom talking like moderates after 20 years of wild progressive.
And making all the progressives angry.
Right.
Yeah. So
right.
I don't know.
But I don't think we're going to buy that by seeing Gavin saying, yeah, we were wrong.
Yeah, or Gretchen hiding her
one
face.
Hand behind his back with fingers crossed.
And Gretchen Whitmer's in the Oval Office hiding her face from a photographer.
She regretted that, by the way. She said she regretted that.
Yeah, I bet.
She looked like a complete idiot.
I know.
Right,
so
holding the folder
dumb.
in front of her face.
All right, quick sports headlines, Diane.
Houston beat St. Louis 2-0 yesterday. We've got a day game in case you're tooting around. You want to tune in to ESPN 93.5. You're home for the St. Louis Cardinals. Steven Matt's on the bump. It's a 12:15 first pitch right here. Cubs over the Padres 2-1 in 10 innings yesterday. Matthew Boyd on the mound for the Cubbies against Nick Pivetta for the Padres, and that's a 3:10 first pitch over on US 105.9. The A's and Chicago White Sox game had the A's on top 12-3. They've got a game to wrap up that series with a 6:40 start, and Jonathan Cannon on the mound for the White Sox. NBA play-in games are in action now. So Orlando is moving on again. They clinch a 7 seed with their 120-95 win over the Atlanta Hawks. Golden State took down Memphis 121-116. It'll be Miami and the Chicago Bulls tonight at 6:30. And you can watch the action over at PS 1609 West Springfield Avenue. Also, Dallas and the Sacramento Kings is the late game at 9 o'clock. In Illini Nation, Josh McCray being talked about. Is he entering the portal?
Yep, entering the portal.
Say yes.
Yep.
And that was the first high school recruit for Brett Bielema. This really stings. He was the MVP in the Citrus role. So we'll see what happens.
He's been injured a lot.
Right.
I mean, he's been in and out for 4 or 5 years.
I was just reading some of that.
Yeah, so he had 600 yards rushing, which isn't very much for a year because he's hurt and all that. So he had a fabulous game at Citrus Bowl, so it was MVP. But that also might be able to give him a chance to really cash out with somebody. And, so if that's the case, we'll probably hear about it eventually.
Illinois softball at 4 o'clock against Valparaiso, Eichelberger Field. Illinois baseball, big winners over SIUE yesterday.
Awesome. 10 till, ESPN 93.5. Weather with Greg brought to you by Kurt Lenschow, State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, Kurt and State Farm are there.
Logan, everyone, let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign and vicinity, and a frosty start to the day, but with high pressure and control, lighter winds, abundant sunshine. Going to turn out to be a pretty respectable day's worth of early springtime weather. Increasingly wet and active and moisture-laden as we move forward towards the Easter holiday weekend and into a good part of next week, too. Sunshine, 62, a milder afternoon with light wind. Will bottom out tonight at 45 under a partly cloudy sky. Tomorrow, increasing clouds, breezy, milder, a couple of showers in spots late morning, more so. For the afternoon, up to 65. That southeast to south wind on the increase. Windy, mild tomorrow night with a low down to about 55 for the day on Friday. Windy, warmer, a couple of shower thunderstorm outbreaks into the morning and more so for the afternoon. Could be some stronger storms, a high close to 80 with a partly sunny sky. Much cooler for the day Saturday with a high at 63 and a couple of showers around for the afternoon. A couple of showers and thunderstorms Easter Sunday too with a high temperature up near 65. Showers Monday 62, still in the 60s next Tuesday and Wednesday. For Steve AJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Yeah, if you want to text us this morning, you're always welcome. 217-359-2255. We can get to some of those. Steve Suderman is semi-alert. Good vibes. So I've been thinking about you a lot this week with the pause on the tariffs.
Yeah.
Is that good for you?
Well, last week I was pretty unhappy, and I said as much on air. That was the day that the reciprocals were paused for 90 days. So, maybe he heard us. I don't know.
Yeah, but might be listening in right
sure
now.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean,
positive.
I think he heard a lot.
Yeah, it goes right to Ed Martin's ear, right?
That's right. No, exactly. So, okay, so that's good. It's a pause. We don't know. It's uncertain, all those things. But I think
it is.
Japan's stepping up, though. They want a deal. So that could be good.
Epson have rescinded the 24% across-the-board price increase.
Excellent.
LG and Samsung have new models that are shippable, and they've been sitting on them because they didn't know how to price them.
Right.
So now
right.
they're bringing them in. They're concerned that what's going to happen in 90 days, but they're at least bring them in. Now new models always come in higher than what the outgoing product, and so there's deals on the outgoing product and no deals yet on the incoming. At least they're not through the roof. I'm really happy that I was not forced into a position of trying to overbuy inventory going into April, which is now people are thinking about gardening.
Yeah.
It's not you can watch golf on TV and baseball, but basketball's over with. The really hot stuff that drives TV sales is kind of down. There are deals out there, and so I'm scouring the what's available. We've got a complicated one about buy a Denon receiver. You can get a Denon home amp, which is a wireless streaming thing to run another room, or maybe some outdoor speakers. You can get that at half price. And you can get the outdoor speakers at half price, too, if you buy the Denon receiver that qualifies. That's one. The LG OLEDs are still at the lowest price ever on the 2024 models. They're the same as they were Black Friday. It's just kind of a broken record, but it's good that they're out there, and they're really, really great TVs. And starting yesterday, I believe it was, Klipsch put all of their towers and monitors and subs on sale through the, 26th, I think is, so the end of next week. So deals on things to make sound, deals on TVs, deals on subs and stuff, and, life goes on.
Well, Brother Johnny's thinking about buying something from you.
No, I'm buying something, and I don't. If you have a tariff, just pass it on, Steve. I got to get something because they put fiber optic through, so now it'll work. Because if you don't, the smarter TVs, if it's a slow Wi-Fi, you got a problem.
Yeah,
because they're too smart.
It doesn't work very well.
Well, right. You got fiber in your yard,
so I'm going to have to work with you, Steve, on this, and we'll work. Before probably the 90 days, I got to have a TV. And
okay.
Plus, I think you said they'd take the old one. You need a crane.
But, that's right.
We have two fairly beefy guys that do that.
Well, I mean, it's not as super big. It's not like the old Zenith, but it's heavy.
Yours is pretty super big.
Yeah.
But
I got a plasma that really kind of hurt him taking out of my basement.
Oh boy!
What's a good? The average size den. What's a nice big screen, but not too big? As big as you can, without too big. That's a tough question. But
I just bought a 77-inch OLED for my living room.
Beauty.
Okay.
I can still see out my windows, but not much of them.
and I've got one at our house in our kitchen family area. It's a 75.
Right. Oh, that's a 75.
Yeah,
nice.
that's
television.
a nice size.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Yeah, it's big without being, hulking.
And they're
we
thin.
saw a lot of 83s and 86s.
83, and there's now a 98.
Now, I don't want to get you in trouble, but do you have a favorite brand that you would recommend for like a 72, 75-inch screen?
We go back and forth between Sony and LG mostly, and we have Samsung available. They make that TV in the frame that turns into a piece of art when you turn it off.
Huh.
So
That's
very
cool.
popular.
Yeah.
But I like the picture better on the other ones. So.
All right.
Anyway, it'll be a fun trip. Johnny will have to come up and look around because you got a lot on display there. So, yeah. Anyway, cool stuff. Here we had John promoting stuff. Nice old television. What the heck? Come on, man.
Good.
All right, Steve.
All right, buddy. Good talking to you. We'll be talking, but thanks for your time. And where can people find you?
We're at 2010 Round Barn Road, next to the driver's license facility. We're on the web at gvibes.com, where we cannot advertise that Denon offer I put out. They said absolutely not. So.
Gotcha. All right. Well, good. Got it. Thank you. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it.
All right, guys.
It's 7:56. That's Steve Suderman.
Mm-hmm.
Good Vibes is locally owned and operated, now celebrating, 53 years in business? I mean, that's local.
Over by Round Barn.
Yep, they've been out there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They used to be on Neal Street back in the day. Anyway, they're still out there, and they're there to help you, and you can call them when something's not working, because those darn buttons on all those remotes. I know. That's like, come on. Where's the guy turn it on?
I know.
I mean, there's too many choices here. Yeah, I can't turn it up. I can't hear it.
Yesterday I was saying, where's that little house thing on my remote? That'll cure what I got going on.
I don't know what you're talking about. I just don't know where to turn it on. It's ridiculous.
Anyway.
All right. The news will be next. Our Stever offer is $200 for you to buy junk. The 2 Men in a Junk truck will come and get stuff to declutter.
That's right.
And they'll price it and say, you can do this much for $200, and if you want to do this, we'll do it for $80 more, that kind of stuff.
Appliance removal, TV removal, mattress removal, hot tubs, fridge, commercial junk, tree limbs, trash, clean out the garage. Text in junk to 217-359-2255.
All right, that's how we're doing it. Cardinals on the air at 11:20 this morning as a getaway day. Usually Wednesdays when teams travel, they like to have an early game. Same for the Cubs. They're at 3, which is really 1 Pacific. They're out there. What a tough swing. They've done quite well, Dodgers and Padres. They won again last night. Cubbies are in first place at 12-8 in the National League Central. All right, the news coming up.
At Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people with amazing service, great design advice, and unbeatable selection and the best prices in town. It's the perfect time to update your home with waterproof flooring, carpet, hardwood, tile, and more. Then complete your rooms by shopping our incredible selection of furniture and accessories. We also offer great financing options. Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people.
My name is Jim Brookins. I own my lawn care service for over 15 years now. I've met a lot of great people doing this. Most of the people I meet, they become great friends. I do edging, weed eating. I blow everything off so it looks fantastic when I'm done. I believe, in my mind, I do the best. Usually my average range is usually around $40 per yard. You can call me 217-621-8807. 217-621-8807.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
This is WSJK, Tuscola, Champaign, Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals. It's 8 o'clock.
The United States versus the state of Maine. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. Attorney General Pam Bondi announces a civil lawsuit against the Maine Department of Education over the participation of transgender girls in school sports.
The Department of Justice will not sit by when women are discriminated against in sports. This is about sports. This is also about these young women's personal safety.
The suit seeks to prevent trans participation in the future and revoke titles won by those athletes. Maryland Senate Democrat Chris Van Hollen got on a flight this morning, hoping to check on Kilmar Abrego Garcia and fight for his return.
He announced he'd be flying to El Salvador to do a welfare check on the illegal alien who'd been living in Maryland until he was deported in what 3 government officials conceded was an administrative error, while the administration also maintains allegations this man has ties to MS-13.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich, Trump borders our Tom Homan on Fox.
So we got rid of a dangerous person. An El Salvadoran national was returned to the country of El Salvador, so he's home. We removed him from the United States. He's a public safety threat. That's exactly what should have happened.
Abrego Garcia is imprisoned and denies being in a gang. Iowa Senate Republican Chuck Grassley is confronted by constituents at a town hall demanding that he help bring that man home. And there was chaos, meantime, at a town hall event for House Republican Majority Taylor Greene.
The town hall in Cobb County, Georgia, was repeatedly disrupted Tuesday night by protesters, 2 of whom were subdued with stun guns and tased inside the Ackworth Community Center. And about a half dozen attendees were escorted out of the building, the congresswoman criticizing the protesters.
If you want to shout and chant, we will have you removed just like that man was thrown out. We will not tolerate it.
3 people were arrested, charged with disorderly conduct. Sue Guzman, Fox News.
Retail sales up 1.4% last month. America's listening to Fox News.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to goodrx.com/GLP. That's goodrx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
A kidnapped American pastor is rescued in South Africa.
Pastor Josh Sullivan, who leads Fellowship Baptist Church in East Cape Province, was abducted from his church 6 days ago. South African cops rescuing him from a car outside a house where he was being held captive. They say the kidnappers opened fire on officers as they arrived, resulting in a high-intensity shootout and the deaths of 3 of the suspects. They say Sullivan was in the car as well, but was miraculously unharmed. Gary Baumgarten, Fox News.
A jury's chosen for Karen Reed's murder retrial in Massachusetts. There's a pretrial hearing today and opening statement scheduled next Tuesday.
A jury of 18 was finally seated yesterday. Nearly 600 people were summoned here and questioned over the course of the last 10 days to select this jury of 12 with 6 alternates in this highly publicized case drawing worldwide attention. Hundreds come to the courthouse to support Karen Reed. The 45-year-old is charged with second-degree murder, manslaughter, and leaving the scene of an accident. Prosecutors say she struck her Boston police officer boyfriend, John O'Keefe, with her SUV and left him to die in the snow in January 2022. But her defense claims she was framed in a law enforcement cover-up.
Fox's Champion Painter. Parts of the Midwest and South could be hit with some rough weather starting tonight, with the highest risk for tornadoes coming Easter Sunday.
Another active weather pattern is setting up today through the weekend with several rounds of severe storms for the central U.S., large hail, damaging winds, tornadoes, and heavy rain, which will add on to the already flood-weary cities across the Tennessee, Mississippi, and Ohio River valleys.
That's Fox senior meteorologist Janice Dean. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and White House Middle East Special Envoy Steve Witkoff announced plans for talks in Paris this week with European leaders about the Ukraine-Russia war and trade. I'm Chris Foster. This is Fox News.
And local news. Champaign School District supposed to meet Monday night for their regular scheduled meeting, but that meeting canceled after 3 members called it absent. The 3, including Mark Holm, Betsy Holder, and Amy Armstrong. Meeting's agenda could have seen the board confirm 2 principals at Edison Middle School and Booker T. Washington Academy, as well as SROs at Central and Centennial High Schools. A Champaign woman dead after the coroner said she was involved in a crash at northbound I-57 Monday night at milepost 243 near Thomasboro. Illinois State Police say a passenger car rear-ending a semi. The driver of that car pronounced dead at the scene. Illinois State University faculty signing off on their first collective bargaining agreement with the university. United Faculty of Illinois State University voting to approve the deal. The contract makes improvements in working conditions and compensation and goes into effect immediately. The approval follows 13 months of negotiations. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Well, the farmers like to get out and start planting here pretty soon.
Right.
It's going to be a little wet, isn't it?
That's an issue. What did our meteorologists tell us?
Well, I don't know. Is it going to be too wet? You see the maps there, buddy. I mean, we're going to plant in April?
Yeah, a window of a day or two at a time, and then we get back into these wetter spells, and we really need to you need a 5 to 7 day time frame sometimes, depending on your soil type, drainage, all that, but 3 to 5, 5 to 7, something like that, considering we're wet already, to firm things up to get out there. And if you just continue with maybe a day or two of dry time and you bring the rains back in, that kind of gets you further behind.
Yeah.
So now between now and mid-May, I would think we're kind of at the need to get out there and get things going.
Well, pick your day then, it sounds like.
Yeah. And they're going to be few and far between. That's the best we can tell you right now. And and that's basically the way the long range plays out, probably well into the beginning part of May as well, sir.
Our weather brought to you by Watts Copy Systems. You want a cost-efficient solution for busy offices like yours? You can get a free evaluation, locally owned and operated. Watts Copy Systems, 217-352-0428. All right, sir, take it away. What you seeing on our weather?
Well, temperatures are coming up. The frost scraping is underway, and readings of 38 at Willett and Savoy, now 39 at Danville, 34 Bloomington Normal. Up at the Kankakee, 38 there. They're in the mid-40s in downtown St. Louis and mid to upper 30s in downtown Indianapolis. So a nice day's worth of weather today. The first in a myriad of systems coming our way. Won't rain continuously or at least all the time. There'll be a number of rain-free hours each time. It's just the recurring repetitive nature, and we're just beginning to touch, the corner here and turn the corner of maybe some support in some of the waterlogged far eastern and southern Corn Belt locales, and that looks to be in direct line over the next 5 to 7 days of 1 to 3, maybe some spots as much as 4 to 6 inches of rain, and we're going to be in that multi-inch category as well going forward the next 10 days to 2 weeks. So the windows of opportunity already winding down as we have been talking about. But today, at least for outdoor work and playing, whatever you have up your sleeve, sunshine, 62, light wind, bottoming out at 45 tonight. Tomorrow, increasing clouds, breezy milder, and maybe a couple of drops of rain in spots late morning, more so a couple of showers tomorrow afternoon at 65. Windy milder tomorrow night, temps in the 50s, and a windy, much warmer Good Friday, a partly sunny sky up near 80, but some showers and thunderstorms both morning and afternoon. We're in a slight risk for severe weather there, both Friday and east of us and south of us on Saturday, up to 63 on Saturday. Another couple of showers in here Saturday afternoon. Easter Sunday, a little touchy in the morning, maybe some dampness, a little rain in spots, 50 at daybreak, 65 later in the day with increasing shower chances on Easter Sunday afternoon. More rain on Monday, nothing Tuesday, more rain the second half of next week, all the while highs in the 60s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
All right, buddy, thank you very much. So Joe Biden spoke in Chicago, and I think I have some clips.
Okay.
Let's see how he sounds.
Everyone in this room fights for people with disabilities who rely on Social Security to survive. fewer than 100 days, this new administration has done so much damage and so much destruction.
How much did you pay for that?
Not much, but I did hear him talk about the Social Security and how important it is, which is what actually Trump's trying to protect and quit handing out money to people who aren't even entitled to it or don't exist.
25. Why is Biden, bashing Trump when he's not taking it away?
That's what he's being told, that he's taking it away. Now, 1 out of 4 calls to Social Security, 25% of the phone calls that come in are fraudulent. They're trying to get transfers and bank accounts, and they need to come here now because they're over here now. We have to switch. So there's $1 zillion going out in fraud.
Well, and I think it's right into the pattern that's starting to get frustrating to some, certainly to me, that no matter what, and Trump said this during the speech, it's interesting, to the combined session of the Senate and House, no matter what I do, they're going to jump on. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Anything I try to do to help this country, they're going to attack, and that's what they're doing.
Well,
it does
how will
not
history
matter.
write Donald Trump if the historians are liberal?
Well, of course. Let's just talk about history, someone who looks at what happened. And they're going to point out it's been an amazing negative reaction. You got to understand, they really don't even hate Donald Trump. They hate that he used to kind of be one of them and then turn on them and is exposing what they want to do.
Yeah.
That's what they hate. You can't not do this. We just about had it.
Yeah, right.
Got it. You're ruining everything. You're messing our playhouse.
Yeah.
And he's doing just that. And it just makes him madder and madder. But people have to realize, like I watch a little CNN and MSNBC, but I can't watch it for long because they just keep hearing the same thing that I don't think is true.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people who do watch them don't watch Fox.
No, I don't think
or
so.
don't watch news. They want to hear it.
Look at Fox and say they're lying.
Yeah, it's all, but they have a lot of support for what they say.
No, the
usually.
numbers
and
are
plus they have
off
a
the
little
chart.
bit of an edge to me because it is just common sense. And when you're telling me a guy can have a baby, I don't think there's two sides of that coin.
Well, the
They're just
lawsuit
nuts.
is going. Pam Bondi suing Maine for not upholding the president's executive order to ban trans athletes in high school.
Right.
And so they're going to lose millions of dollars, a couple of $100 million in Maine. How are they going to pay for schools?
Well, they'll probably come around. I mean, that's so ridiculous to hold the line on that. Why would you do that to your girls? I don't understand.
I don't either.
I do not understand how you can be passionate about hurting your daughter or granddaughter's chances of having a fun time in sports and excelling against people on a level playing field, and furthermore, maybe putting them in some danger with a guy who's very good at sports and they're just a lot faster, quicker, stronger.
I mean, could we have a category for transgender in Maine so that they could have the
And I don't think that's the point. I think they're just trying to disrupt. They're just trying to disrupt every pillar of our society. That's all I can conclude, because of course they could, Diane. They could have their own transgender category, and guess what? The guys who want to be girls will be on one side, and the girls who want to be guys will be in another league, because it's going to pan out the same way. It's not a normal road to go down.
Right.
So you have to make adjustments. And if they had a separate league, the guys, to be fair, would probably who would like to live life as a woman would have their own league.
Right.
The girls who would like to live a guy would probably have their own league.
And
or that wouldn't be fair either.
Why
It'd
not?
just be a flip.
Why not? Because you're competing against similar like-minded people, and you're in Maine, and if they want to hold that line, it'll be like the Maine league.
Yeah. In any case, it doesn't ruin women's athletes, which we do have probably the best women athletic program in the world. And Title IX helped that.
Yeah.
And now what are we doing? Trashing the whole thing?
Yeah.
And they defend it. It's like it's a distraction. How are you going to fix a road when all you're worried about is keeping the guys out of the girls' basketball?
Well, I did see a transgender guy in a girls' basketball game, and he was 6'4", laying him up, laying him in, laying him up. And, of course, his team was cheering pretty good.
Sure. Well, and that's
what the heck is that?
And
What
how
the heck?
do you? It's not even funny to me anymore, Steve, because
it's ridiculous.
These girls are really being deprived of something that they should deserve to get. And we've gone over this, and we agreed to it, and they're just trying to completely and then the people say, get Trump. He's trying to stop us from doing this. Right. What are you doing?
I don't know.
You forget the people pushing it. The people supporting it start to have to take accountability.
Well, I think they are, and I think we're gaining on it, but it just isn't fair. Let's check your sports headlines.
All right. I was just trying to get to the Kicking Cancer event we're going to tonight and looking forward to seeing a lot of people at Gordyville. And the meal is served when you come on in. They're not releasing tables. 1,700 people last year with $500,000 raised for the American Cancer Society. So when you come in, you get your meal. Last year, Niemerg's Catering was wonderful, and it's from 5 to 6:45. You serve yourself, and then at 7 o'clock, the program with Northwestern coach Chris Collins and Dayton Alderberg is
Dana Altman, Oregon coach. They lost to Illinois by the worst ever on their home floor in early January.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Underwood knows him very well.
Who's that?
Yeah, Coach Underwood knows.
Yeah. That's what makes it fun. Is Coach Underwood's working this panel, and they're kicking around all these questions. It's a great time. And our friend Brian Barnhart, another Unity grad, is on the mic to MC. It'll be a wonderful evening, and you can just do an online search if you want to get one of those last few tickets. Yesterday, a grand slam in the first inning. Illinois baseball beats SIU big yesterday. Softball in action in Eichelberger Field at 4 this afternoon against Valparaiso. Another trending topic is our Citrus Bowl MVP entering the transfer portal. That's Josh McCray, and one of the first high school recruits for Brett Bielema. It seems like they just had such a close relationship. But in the end, I guess the Illini Nation is saying it's all about the money, Diane. So why are you thinking anything different? Parkland softball split yesterday with Illinois Central College. They're 28-12 on the season. Parkland baseball beat Lakeland 11-5. They're 24-11 on the season. Got some playing games in the NBA with the Bulls in action against Miami. We'll have a day game after Houston came out on top yesterday over St. Louis. It's a 12:15 start on ESPN 93.5.
All right, this season for spring cleaning is here. While many may be focused on organizing closets or scrubbing floors, Busey encourages you to clean up your finances. Doggone it. Here are some steps to cut back on financial clutter. Evaluate and pay down debt. Review your budget. Check your credit report. Sign up for e-statements and paperless billing. Set up automatic bill pay. Consolidate your accounts. Download the Busey mobile app and manage your finances whenever you want, wherever you are, with Busey's mobile and online services. These are some of the ideas to at least think about what you can do to get a little more organized, get a little more handle on what you're doing. Get started on your spring cleaning today with the expertise and innovative products and services at Busey. You can go to Busey.com for more resources. You can stop by one of their many convenient locations. Heck, they've been around since 1868. Busey, the same name, all those years, 155 plus. Busey, member FDIC, and our Steve kind of dovetails into getting organized and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2 men in a junk truck. They'll come and kind of declutter if you'd like them to. I'll give you $200 toward that effort, and that might be all you need.
Imagine getting that garage cleaned out, or some of these things that are hauled away, the exercise equipment, the TV removal, mattress disposal, hot tub, fridge, tree limbs, trash, yard waste, whatever. And you have professionals removing these things so you don't have to have that strain and stress. So 2 men in a junk truck. Text junk to 217-359-2255 to be considered in our Stever offer today.
All right, 217 texter. If Bruce Jenner would have been a woman at the 76 Olympics, he would have set 4 women's world records based on his decathlon performance. Dudes don't belong in women's sports, no matter how dedicated they are. At pretending.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
and I don't really have a lot of appreciation for the guys who would do that, like your guy, the 6'4" guy laying it up.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
right.
good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
All right, check your weather forecast. Our meteorologist, our learned one, meteorologist Greg Solier, how we look over the next few days. Here you go.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign, and vicinity. Enjoy the dry day's worth of weather today with light winds and sunshine. Frost scraping off the windshield first thing this morning, a high about 62. Later in the day with a light north wind, partly cloudy, 45 for tonight. Increasing clouds, breezy, milder for the day tomorrow, 65 with a couple of showers in spots late morning, more so for the afternoon. We'll bottom out tomorrow night, milder with an evening shower risk at 55, and a windy and warmer Friday with a couple of showers and thunderstorms in the late morning, more so for the afternoon. Could be some stronger storms. Good Friday high at close to 80 degrees and a south wind 20 to 30 and gusty. Much cooler Saturday, a couple of showers around in the afternoon, again up to 63. There may be a bit of rain here. Easter sunrise on Easter Sunday with temps in the near 50 degree range there. Later in the day up to 65 and a couple of showers and thunderstorms that continue into Monday. Highs at 62 and still into the 60s next Tuesday and Wednesday. Dry Tuesday, more rain the second half of next week. For CBJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
I'm Taylor Riggs, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Retail sales rose 1.4% in March, a big improvement from February. Sales were up 4.6% from a year ago. Economists expected shoppers to stock up on things they needed last month to avoid price increases from tariffs. Those purchases included cars. Excluding autos, the monthly increase was just 0.5%. Fed Chair Jerome Powell speaks today at the Economic Club of Chicago. NVIDIA shares are sharply lower, dragging down the NASDAQ after the chip maker said it faces new restrictions on sending artificial intelligence chips to China, which will result in a hit of more than $5 billion to its business. Travelers' shares are up nearly 3%. Its earnings topped estimates. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda. Invested in you.
As President Donald Trump begins his second term.
Promises made, promises kept. We're going to keep our promises.
Stick with the Fox News Rundown as history is made during his first 100 days. Whether it impacts your family, your wallet, or the world, our team of journalists will give you the sharp analysis and perspective you expect from Fox News. The Fox News Rundown, the first 100 days. Listen and follow now at foxnewsrundown.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
What is most important in your life? This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. If you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that help clients realize their goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Fighting Illini fans, your Illinois football team is coming off a 10-win season as Citrus Bowl champs. This fall, Illinois returns 18 starters from the Citrus Bowl victory, including star quarterback Luke Altmaier for a third straight season. Led by head coach Brett Bielema, the Fighting Illini are listed on nearly every major top 25 ranking for the 2025 season. Stay up to date on all things Fighting Illini football at fightingillini.com. We can't wait to see you back in Memorial Stadium this fall.
Hey, where are you headed?
To Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola.
What do they have there?
What don't they have there? Living room furniture, benches, chests, love seats, sectionals, tables, bedroom sets, hutches, nightstands, end tables, cabinets, mirrors, stools, clocks, lamps, pillows, rugs, desks, media consoles, patio furniture, Tempur-Pedic mattresses, and more.
So, everything.
Yeah, probably could have just said that.
Kelsey Furniture, quality for less.
You know, with like Lands Inc., we specialize in, we've got an amazing HVAC department that takes care of your furnace, you know, your heat system, air conditioning, they do
pumps,
that.
yeah.
And for us in Underground, we take care of all your pipes that come into your home, leave your home, and work around your home to keep it dry, you know, your drainage system, sump pumps, things like that. And exactly what you said, if you don't know, you know, a couple decades ago, it was more like, oh, something broke, go fix it, repair it, no big deal. Well, now with the technology, we have cameras, like you said, that we can come in on these orange comfort clubs and we can camera your sewer lines underneath your house and check them out just to make sure they're fine. If there's something wrong with it, we can show you right then. Truth is in seeing it.
Yeah.
We show it to you, and then you can plan as a homeowner for making those repairs or dealing with that issue later on. If it's an immediate need, at least you're not caught off surprise.
That sewer camera inspection with a proper clean out. I was just learning more at landsinc.com.
And now, Kelsey Briggs, owner of Salon 105 in Mahomet.
We have a luxury destination salon located out here in central Illinois, and we have stylists here for everybody and any need. We have a very wide range of stylists that can cover any needs. There is somebody that can provide any services from a perm to a balayage to extensions and everything in between. Every stylist that works here is certified in Bellohaven hand-tied extensions, and we do a lot of education. We bring in high-level educators from all over the world and invite local salons to come out here and learn. So not only do we welcome clients here, but we also welcome other stylists or salons in the area to come and learn.
To book your appointment at one of the premier salons in Central Illinois, go to salon-105.com. That's salon-105.com. And that's Steely Dan.
Yes, it is. Good job.
Good band.
Love that.
Yeah.
I stopped by and got my volunteer shirt for the Illinois Marathon.
Oh, good
Christie
for you.
Clinic Illinois Marathon.
I am so glad we got you to volunteer for something, Diane. That's just wonderful because I can't get you out of your shell.
So they're starting to do T-shirt pickup for people. About 10,000 people coming in on the 25th and 26th.
Yep.
Next weekend for all the running events. It's a race weekend, and if you want to sign up for a spot, and so much money is given back to nonprofits too, you can navigate that on the website IllinoisMarathon.com.
If Harvard has $50 billion, why do they need $2 billion from the government every year? What the world is that? Harvard has $50 billion, and they told the U.S. and Donald Trump, you can't tell us what to do. We can be anti-Semitic against those Jews if we want to. What is that?
Well, they can if they use their own money.
Yeah,
but
they're a private
it's
institution.
A private,
right?
but we shouldn't be paying.
No.
Well, we shouldn't. The grants are good. It's kind of a...
But, John, they have $50 billion. They have their own money to do all those studies.
They can do it. This shouldn't
Spend your
stop
money.
them from doing those important programs. They're not going to lose the ability to do that. They may choose not to spend their own money if they can't spend ours. But
if you have $50 billion, if it sits there in a fund, what's the minimum money you'd make on $50 billion in some account?
Well, you're gonna make 10% would be $5 billion a year, but 5 is $2.5 billion.
Isn't that enough?
I would think it would be enough for me.
Well, usually these grants for studies are $5 million. I mean, that's a pretty healthy.
No, you can get some ongoing years long grants that are more, and it's an important part of what we're doing, but it's also part of how we're spending our money. And does Harvard really need us to give them $2 billion?
It's all because most of the presidents come from Harvard, right?
Well, I think some of it. I think they also do some good things, and they're competing for these grants. I'm sure they have an edge in a lot of cases because they're so politically connected. But that's not the point. The point is, look, we've supported Israel. We do not want this kind of racism here. We've gone through this, okay? This is 50, 75 years ago, and no, quit. No, we don't care, but give us our money anyway. Well, we're not going to pay for it. Okay, that's it.
Yeah, right.
And so, we have our own money. Yeah, well, you shouldn't be doing it, but...
What's Illinois have? I mean, who has $50 billion?
I think we're scaring $3 billion. I might be wrong. We might have a little more. We have some good money, but it's all kind of dedicated, and you live off the
what do they use it for? I mean,
all kinds.
But shouldn't the tuition cover your expenses in a? No, it doesn't.
Don't make me laugh. Well, we're a state school, so the state pays for. Well, it used to be 70. Now it's about 9, but they can't even pay that on time.
9%. Oh, that's it.
And the amount of money, maybe it's 11. That's all they can pay.
Okay.
And the amount of money that we spend at Illinois to be in line with state requirements because we take state money. That's fair. But for 10%, we should
probably shouldn't even do it.
Well, we can't get out of it. They won't let us go because
grant
we would probably
I see.
choose to go it alone for the extra 10% because we'd probably save that, not having to meet all the regulations that are required just in purchasing.
Why did college get so expensive? Is it top heavy? Do we have too many people working there? I mean, why can't you run that? If you have somebody from China paying $75,000 a year in tuition, which is top rate, I think, I would think it'd be enough if there are 50,000 students, 144 nations. I mean, you're getting a lot coming in. I would think that should be able to handle what your expenses are. But I don't know. I haven't seen the books. They're not showing them to me.
It's gotten more expensive because the value of the teachers or professors has gone up. And there's a lot of competition. We don't see that. We see our sports guys getting traded, and Hertz gets $50 million a year. Well, here's a guy in a good civil engineer, just got a much better package, guaranteed $500,000 in research money from their grant funds, and $280,000 a year salary, something like that. This kind of competition, so it keeps going up.
I got 30 seconds, but just like we say, what would Mike Ditka's street value be today? What would our dad have made back in the day when he was a star civil engineer?
$4,000 a year, which he was pretty happy with.
$4,000 a year when he started as a civil engineer.
Well,
professor.
that was not starting. That was working
after
up to
a while.
that. Yeah.
Man, it's gone up somewhat. We're going to break for the news and come back with our final segment of the morning, the drive this afternoon after 3. Lonte, Derek Piper with Kyle Tosk.
Hit up
3.
X, Stevie Jay FM.
And 217-359-2255 on the Fisher National Bank text line. You're always welcome to join us and text in if any thoughts, anything we say. Love to hear from you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll be right back. Check your Fox News and Jim, then Greg with some weather. Stand by 8:30.
Fox News, I'm Therese Crowley. Attorney General Pam Bondi suing the state of Maine over Title IX violations for failing to comply with a Trump ban on trans athletes in women's sports. The ultimatum: stop now, restore girls' titles, or face a retroactive loss of federal funding. Fox News has obtained a Department of Justice criminal referral against New York District Attorney Tish James, who famously prosecuted Donald Trump, saying no one is above the law, with evidence that James falsified banking, mortgage, and real estate documents to get better terms on properties in Virginia and New York. From whispers to shouts, former President Joe Biden returns to the stage, taking on his successor.
Social Security is more than a government program. It's a sacred promise.
In Chicago, Biden claims the president took a hatchet to Social Security. The Trump team says they're saving people's checks from fraud. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. A Champaign woman dead after the coroner said she was involved in a crash on northbound I-57 Monday night at milepost 243 near Thomasboro. Illinois State Police say a passenger car rear-ending a semi. The driver of that car pronounced dead at the scene. Illinois State University faculty signing off on their first collective bargaining agreement with the university. United Faculty of Illinois State University voting to approve the deal. The contract makes improvements in working conditions and compensation and goes into effect immediately. The approval follows 13 months of negotiations. Champaign School District supposed to meet Monday night for their regular scheduled meeting, but that meeting canceled after 3 members called in absent. The 3, including Mark Holm, Betsy Holder, and Amy Armstrong. Meeting's agenda could have seen the board confirm 2 principals at Edison Middle School and Booker T. Washington Academy, as well as SROs at Central and Centennial High Schools. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign and vicinity, and a frosty start to the day, but with high pressure and control, lighter winds, abundant sunshine. Going to turn out to be a pretty respectable day's worth of early springtime weather. Increasingly wet and active and moisture laden as we move forward towards the Easter holiday weekend and into a good part of next week, too. Sunshine, 62, a milder afternoon with light wind. We'll bottom out tonight at 45 under a partly cloudy sky. Tomorrow, increasing clouds, breezy, milder, a couple of showers in spots late morning, more so for the afternoon up to 65. 55. That southeast to south wind on the increase. Windy mild tomorrow night with a low down to about 55 for the day on Friday. Windy warmer. A couple of shower thunderstorm outbreaks into the morning and more so for the afternoon. Could be some stronger storms, a high close to 80 with a partly sunny sky. Much cooler for the day Saturday with a high at 63 and a couple of showers around for the afternoon. A couple of showers and thunderstorms Easter Sunday too with a high temperature up near 65. Showers Monday 62. Still in the 60s next Tuesday and Wednesday. For Steve AJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Nate Evans of the Nate Evans Group, thanks for coming into our studio and discussing the experience about buying your first home. What are the first steps you should take, and how can your team help at Nate Evans Group?
Yeah, I mean, buying your first home can be super scary. Maybe not even scary is the right word. It's just a lot of unknown. So I think the important item for somebody to find is clarity on what that looks like. So if I was a first-time home buyer, I'm probably calling the Nate Evans Group, and I'm going to ask to speak with one of the local experts in there that's specific to the area they're trying to search. And we're going to sit down with them. At least we can keep it super easy. We usually do it over the phone first, and then we can do an in-person meeting at a house that they choose or they like. And we'll talk them through next steps, pre-approvals, refining criteria, and then next thing you know, we're finding houses off market for them that don't exist, because that seems to be a challenge for a lot of buyers right now.
Call the only agent I would call if I needed to sell my home. It's Nate Evans at 217-239-7113. Do an online search to Nate Evans Group and start packing.
We're talking to John Reichert from A&R Mechanical. 100 years in our community. So many buildings in this town, like Memorial Stadium. Of course, the State Farm Center. Can you remember the reaction of the company getting that? Because that's a big one.
Oh, that was huge. If you just think about it a little bit, everything we put in is straight, pipe is straight. We were putting all that into a round building. And, it took a lot of know-how to make that project happen. It was one of the first projects we did using our new technologies. And the timing was just right. We were the right people for that project, and I think we did it successfully.
The legacy of A&R. John, I could almost say, what haven't you built? Up and down campus, the Siebel Center was fairly new for computer science.
Everybody was working as a team, and I think it came out very well.
A&R Mechanical has helped build Carl at the Fields expansion and other Carl projects in Provena and Sarah Bush Lincoln. The list goes on and on. Visit them at ar-mech.com. Sarah Champagne managing partner Ben Quattrone on why integrity is important at Sarah.
We hire the person. The person makes the deal. The person makes the department. The person makes everyone around them treat people with courtesy and respect. If you have a quality human being, you can play any position, right? We're talking about sports. They can perform in any department, and I could teach someone a job, but I can't teach them to be a good person.
Learn more at sarahchampagne.com. That's SERRA champagne.com. Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow right here in Champaign-Urbana can switch you over so you can start saving today. Kurt and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. It's easy to switch and save. Just give them a call when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for University Housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin Cities.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
We're talking a little bit about universities, particularly Harvard and all the grants and stuff that come in for different studies. And with Harvard having $50 billion already, I don't think they need me. Okay, so somebody said what about...
Patrick says take away federally insured student loans and tuition would come down.
Okay, how would that work?
That's an excellent point, because you can help kids fill out forms and get the money.
Yeah.
Many of whom don't pay back, and Biden said you don't have to pay it all back.
Right.
And then you can just say, okay, they can pay $35,000 instead of $25,000 because the government's going to give them the money.
Don't we have a really? It used to be not as
it'd be a factor. I don't know how much of a driver.
What we're paying for talent now, maybe that's a big shift. I mean, you can work in administration, make $200,000-$300,000 a year, and the presidents are getting $1 million.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of
the athletic stuff. I think takes care of itself with our TV money,
Right.
Big Ten, all the stuff that comes in from that. I don't think that's a tuition issue at all. But it's just
well, you're going to get hired by an institution if you can help bring in that money, and so they're getting people that can support themselves.
Yeah, right.
And so everything goes up.
But
And-
3% of Harvard is conservative. 3. So how balanced of an education do you think you'd get at Harvard?
Well, I think that leads to a lot of things, like why is the government supporting radio, which is more of a private enterprise? A school, in many cases, is public, but should it be federal?
Talking about National Public Radio, NPR.
Yeah. And the point being, everybody has an opinion.
Yeah.
And once you don't really have to worry about what anybody else thinks because someone's got your back, you can say anything you want, do anything you want, and drift any direction you want. And it's not really an unbiased environment because it drifts that way. You don't have to worry about going out of business. And that's why federal government money it's going to drift one way or the other.
Voice of America is something that broadcasts messages all over the world. I think I heard they had 1,000 employees. And being in the business, I guess that's about 950 too many. They have 1,000 employees at Voice of America?
A lot.
What do they do? Please tell me, what do they do? And I do understand because I know the business. So 1,000 people at Voice of America? Well, after all those languages, you get 10 people that know all the languages. It's nuts. Anyway, all right, 8:41.
Are you tired of shivering in the winter? Look no further than your local heroes at ABC Heating and Air Conditioning. Hi, this is Gina inviting you to give us a call at 217-352-5400 to book your appointment to make sure your furnaces run safely and efficiently this winter. We've been proudly locally owned and operated and have been serving our community for over 50 years. ABC, always be comfortable. Call me 217-352-5400 to book your appointment today or go to abcheatingandac.com.
Sarah Champagne Managing Partner Ben Quattrone.
We're always looking for people. You can go online and apply on our website. We never know what we're going to need. We're always expanding. We're always building more and growing our business. If we don't need a person and they come along and we find out that they're an eagle, they're a star, we'll hire them. We'll put them somewhere and wait for the spot we're going to have them working.
Learn more at sarahchampagne.com. Your lawn is an important investment. Let Spring Green take care of that lawn. Your local, family-owned and operated Spring Green has been committed to beautifying your neighborhood through quality, service, and professionalism. Spring Green's full program customers are backed by their guarantee of satisfaction. Smart Money Magazine reports that consumers value a home with a well-maintained lawn and landscape up to 11.3% higher than the base price. Why don't you call Spring Green today, 359-2111, or visit them at spring-green.com.
Now at Jets, order any 3-topping pizza and get $5 off. Just use promo code 3TOP when ordering. That's the number 3, TOP. Want to impress family and friends and spend less? Get creative and build your own 3-topping pizza with their favorites for your holiday gatherings. Available in deep dish, thin crust, New York style, or hand toss round. Any 3-topping Jets pizza for $5 off with promo code 3TOP. It's a deal. Jets, better because it has to be.
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
Yeah, okay. ESPN 93.5. John Decker's off tomorrow because it's Easter.
Okay.
And I wanted Johnny to hear this before he left. This is Caroline
Levitt?
Yeah.
Just really like her.
Press
Did you see her saying
secretary.
that prayer before she went in?
I missed that.
She said, Jesus, give me the words, give me that. I mean, just fantastic. Franklin Graham really complimented
I
that.
say that every time I walk into the building.
Good
God
for you.
guide my words.
There you go. Good for you. Here's Caroline Levitt.
The president promised millions of Christians across the country on the campaign trail that he would create a White House faith office when he returned to the White House, and he has delivered on that promise. The White House faith office has put together an extraordinary week-long celebration currently underway for Holy Week ahead of Easter Sunday. The president signed a Holy Week proclamation, filmed a special presidential video message, and will be hosting a pre-Easter dinner tomorrow night and a White House staff Easter worship service on Thursday. The president and the first lady are honored to continue the tradition of the White House Easter egg roll, which will take place on the South Lawn next Monday.
Sounds good to me.
No, that's really good. I'm
Yeah.
sure there'll be all kind of uproar over what is he doing? He's insulting me. Why?
Church and state.
I'm
Church and
insulted.
state.
It's
Church
Trump,
and
I'm insulted.
Church and state.
No, I think that's great.
I do
it's
too.
Easter
I do
week,
too.
and we need to try to focus on that. I think if we keep our priority to doing what God would like us to do, we'll be fine.
Yeah, I agree.
When you walk away, things usually start to go bad.
Amen, Brother John.
Amen.
Allow me to introduce you to a true friend of mine. And whenever I've had problems, he would listen and always stayed by my side and offered great advice, providing comfort, strength, forgiveness, and healing. His name? Jesus Christ. Come, you're invited to join us, Muhammad Christian Church, as we celebrate what a glorious day this Easter Sunday. And when you arrive, step right in. You will be greeted with smiles, hellos, and a friendly, glad you joined us today. Oh, and please visit our Welcome Center. We are Muhammad Christian Church, 908 North Lake of the Woods Road in Muhammad. Visit us for our Easter Sunday service at 10 a.m. Celebrate the resurrection of our Savior and allow our friend Jesus Christ to fill your heart with his love. Muhammad Christian Church, 908 North Lake of the Woods Road in Muhammad, our Easter Sunday service at 10 a.m.
This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. There's no one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is we can help you improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Why use Lands Underground Solutions? We have the team, the technology, the tools, and the most experienced team in the industry. From a basic sewer pipe repair to replacing a sewer main, installing a water line to installing a septic system, installing underground utilities for a new construction project to rehabilitating the old pipes under a school. Lands has the most versatile and experienced team in the industry. Residential, commercial, and industrial, when it comes to your underground pipes, think Lands Underground Solutions. Why call anyone else?
Sarah Champagne's Ben Quattrone on keeping his employees.
It's got to be the place to work. We have to pay the best. We have to treat people the best. Some of the guys wanted to order pizza the other day. Well, we bought 30 Papa Del's pizzas. BMW had the best month they've ever had. They said, can we have a cookout? Saturday, I cooked like 50 ribeye steaks. And they were expecting like cheese, burgers and hot dogs and stuff. Like, if I'm eating steak, you're eating steak. We both eat steak, we both eat hamburger.
Learn more at sarahchampagne.com. All right, Tim, Gale Ferrix Trucking, looking for drivers at all?
Yeah, we're going to do a little push here. And until we get the trucks full, I'm going to do something a little bit crazy. We're going to go ahead and reinstitute our $4,000 sign-on bonus for the month of April. So I can guarantee the first two guys that come in are going to get that. Now, after that, that will fill up the trucks, and I don't know what we'll have to reevaluate then, but we'll carry that through either till the end of April or till the trucks are filled up.
To the person listening, Tim, what did they do to get this $4,000 signing bonus in case they'd like to act on that?
They can email me at timo@gftlog.com. They can call my office at 765-793-7131. They can drop by Dedicated Diesel in Urbana at 1313 Triumph Drive and see Mandy, and she can get them the paperwork and get them in touch with me.
Logan, everyone, let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign, and vicinity, and a frosty start to the day, but with high pressure and control, lighter winds, abundant sunshine. Going to turn out to be a pretty respectable day's worth of early springtime weather. Increasingly wet and active and moisture laden as we move forward towards the Easter holiday weekend and into a good part of next week, too. Sunshine, 62, a milder afternoon with light wind. Will bottom out tonight at 45 under a partly cloudy sky. Tomorrow, increasing clouds, breezy, milder, a couple of showers in spots late morning, more so for the afternoon up to 65. That southeast to south wind on the increase. Windy mild tomorrow night with a low down to about 55 for the day on Friday. Windy warmer. A couple of shower thunderstorm outbreaks into the morning and more so for the afternoon. Could be some stronger storms, a high close to 80 with a partly sunny sky. Much cooler for the day Saturday with a high at 63 and a couple of showers around for the afternoon. A couple of showers and thunderstorms Easter Sunday too with a high temperature up near 65. Showers Monday 62, still in the 60s next Tuesday and Wednesday. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Get ready for a swinging good time at Busch Stadium. On Sunday, April 27th, when the Cardinals host the Brewers, 20,000 fans 16 and older will take home an exclusive City Connect golf umbrella, courtesy of Central Bank. This stylish umbrella features the iconic City Connect design and will have you ready for rain or shine while showing your Cardinals pride. For tickets or more details, visit cardinals.com/promotions.
This is Ozzie Smith, St. Louis Cardinals for the Loom.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
My name is Jim Brookins. I own my lawn care service for over 15 years now. I've met a lot of great people doing this. Most of the people I meet, they become great friends. I do edging, weed eating. I blow everything off so it looks fantastic when I'm done. I believe, in my mind, I do the best. Usually my average range is usually around $40 per yard. You can call me 217-621-8807. 217-621-8807.
Racing. Farmer City Raceway is your local award-winning dirt track with exciting Friday night lights illuminating the late models and modifieds going for the checkered flag for the win. Make arrangements to get in on the camping with great price points for pit passes and young fans, as well as veterans. Friday nights, the hot laps start at 6:30, then qualifying and racing action. Don't miss out on the fun at Farmer City Raceway. For details, visit farmercityracing.com.
All right, about
buy the
to,
whole seat, but you only need the end.
We are going to wrap it up here for the day. We are appreciative of you. We have a Stever from 2 Men in a Junk Truck.
Yes.
We're going to help you clear out stuff you don't want.
Uh-huh.
And it's all at just Text in junk 217-359-2255. I'm going to pay $200 toward your effort, and they'll come out and then quote you, so you don't spend $1 zillion. But some people, in fact, everybody we've had spend a little more because why don't you take that?
That's right.
Yeah, why don't you take
Get
that
the project and
then
get it out.
When the stuff gets empty, you feel organized.
Oh
it's
man,
a great
decluttering
feeling.
is great.
It's
so
a good
junk,
one.
217-359-2255 for 2 Minute and Junk Truck.
All right, so you can do that tomorrow. Let's see, John Decker is off for Easter.
It's Maundy, Thursday.
Maundy, Thursday, which is Garden of Gethsemane. Was that on Thursday night? Or was that Friday?
Yeah, well, it was the night of the Last Supper.
Last Supper.
Last Supper.
And then Gethsemane went on into the next morning.
Right.
But, yeah, so that was when it
and
started.
Are we getting
yeah.
Monsignor Meridian?
We usually talk to him on Good Friday.
Oh, that's right.
He's awesome.
Yeah, I like Father.
Me too.
He's Monsignor
Is he
Meridian.
going to be on tomorrow?
I don't know. Friday.
Typically on
I think.
Fridays we talk
Good
about.
Friday,
Mhm.
yes.
We'll do that at 7:30 on Friday.
Sarah was born on Good Friday. My
It's a
daughter.
great day. April 17th. Diane's birthday tomorrow.
Yes, it's
Happy
true.
Yeah,
we
happy-
can just pass these days. Kicking Cancer dinner tonight at Gordyville. Looking forward to attending that. So we'll
Yep.
have a report on that and how that went.
I'm sure it'll be near 2,000 people, and Brad Underwood is the chairman of Coaches
Right,
vs. Cancer.
that's great.
Talked to him yesterday, and he's looking for. He loves doing it, loves
That's
helping.
right.
He was introduced to it by Lon Kruger, our old friend Lon Kruger, and is excited about tonight.
And you got Robbie Hubble.
Robbie Hummel. He's a former Purdue superstar, but a tremendous, probably, if not the top analyst on basketball in America, up there. And he's very, very good.
Dana Altman, also from the University of Oregon, and Chris Collins from
Chris Collins,
Northwestern.
yeah, Chris Collins and
good lineup
Brad
there.
are pretty good friends. And Chris Collins, Doug Collins,
Yeah.
kind of a big deal. Doug played in the 72 Russia game that they kept doing it till they won.
No kidding.
That was the Olympics
I
in
did
72.
not know that. He was in that one.
He coached Michael Jordan early on and saw him get out of the gate. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. Diane Ducey, thank you.
Enjoy the day.
Brother Johnny, catch you tomorrow.
All right,
Hanging out.
CJ.
Appreciate you being here. It's great. All right, thank you for listening. Again, 217-359-2255. You want to text in junk on our Fisher National Bank text line. You have a chance to win the Stever today. All right, that'll do her. We appreciate you very much you listening to the program, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great, whatever day it is. Have a great Wednesday. Well, I tell you what, though, A&R has been such an amazing, impactful company. Your grandfather, your dad, you've all gone through stuff. And your secret is what, John?
Well, I mean, you have to trust that you're doing the right thing, first of all, and you got to surround yourself with good people. And I think over the years, we've had some really good people that have been part of A&R, and we owe a lot of our success, if not all of it, to those people.
Neil, you could say A&R has built a great part of Champaign-Urbana. It's about people. Can you explain the culture, why people would want to work at A&R?
We've had several families where we've gone even 3 generations, and these guys are long-term employees. They want to stay with us, and it's rewarding to know that they want to be with us. We have their backs. They have our backs, and that's a unique perspective, I think, from anybody this day and age.
I'm positive because you're such a solid company. A&R Mechanical, a thriving leader 100 years later.
Take charge of the years ahead with a smart, sound investment strategy and business succession plan. Busey Bank's business and wealth management experts help you envision your best future with powerful insights and proven strategies. Building business and growing wealth since 1868, Busey Bank, proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini, member FDIC.
Well, tell me, Tim Onsa, lawn mowing season soon, Dixie Chopper, dedicated diesel. It's off Route 45 as you're heading toward Rantoul. You turn left on Triumph Drive till you can't drive anymore, and you'll be right there. And you got some Dixie Choppers I could buy.
Oh, yeah. Andy's got his hands full with Dixie Choppers, and stop by, see Andy, get a great deal on a mower.
Fastest mower you can buy, so you don't have to spend 2 hours out there. You might spend 45 minutes, and plus, Andy can tune it up or fix it.
Sure he can. Yeah, we got a full shop ready to go. Whatever you need.
When it comes to early on here in the spring, it can be, weeds up to your mid-thigh or whatever. So sometimes you need a really tough kind of mower to get through all that in the brush.
Well, yeah, these are built solid. They'll get through that stuff, and all of the structural components have a great warranty. So if something does go wrong, we can definitely get it fixed. Get Andy at Dedicated Diesel 217-328-0562 or Dedicated Equipment on Facebook.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Are you tired of shivering in the winter? Look no further than your local heroes at ABC Heating and Air Conditioning. Hi, this is Gina inviting you to give us a call at 217-352-5400 to book your appointment to make sure your furnaces run safely and efficiently this winter. We've been proudly locally owned and operated and have been serving our community for over 50 years. ABC, always be comfortable. Call me 217-352-5400 to book your appointment today or go to abcheatingandac.com.
Preventative care is a key factor in maintaining your overall health. Don't delay your health care. If you haven't already scheduled your annual wellness checkup and any recommended screenings and immunizations, do it today. Christie Clinic primary care physicians have same-day appointments available. Talk to a Christie Clinic physician about important screenings and immunizations. You don't want to delay. Make an appointment today at ChristieClinic.com and click on online scheduling. Take care of yourself and put your health first.
Race weekend, April 24th through the 26th. Illinois Marathon.com.
Jets is hiring. Call 217-352-9992 or stop into 1907 West Springfield Avenue near Round Barn in Champaign. Jets is open till 10 p.m., Fridays and Saturdays till midnight. Are you looking for a side hustle? Here's Josh from Jets talking about the benefits of doing deliveries.
When I was a delivery driver, it was amazing how much the actual amount of money I had just shot right up. It's hard to describe. You have money in your pocket every single day.
For details on joining the team, visit jetspizza.com.
Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance,